have a Friday evening edition of Coffee Talk. Well, TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Been a long week. You know it's going to be a long week when Monday afternoon you're saying, no, is it Friday yet? The last 3 Mondays I've said, is it Friday yet? And I tell you, it's been a week. It's been a week. Uh, Education is not for the faint of heart. Oh, Lord, it's been a week. So we've got a storm out in the Gulf. Went in and did some damage to Cuba. I think it was a Category 3 when it went through Cuba, and then it dropped down to a Category 2. And I hear that because of the conditions in the Gulf, they don't know what they think is going to happen. It's sort of they think it might just fall apart because of the conditions in the Gulf. Let's hope that's the case. And if it doesn't, let's hope it hits someplace other than Victoria, which is where I'm at. And I'm drinking tea. I stopped after work and got a couple of steak sandwiches, chicken fried steak sandwiches, some fries, tea, and thank God it's Friday because and I've got a 3-day weekend. We got Veterans Day on Monday, so I'm off Monday, so I'll have a 3-day weekend, thank the Lord. Two in the house. Please leave a like to support the channel. Hello, Bud Files. Well, it is hurricane season, and it will be hurricane season through the end of November. As weather conditions change, it becomes harder for a hurricane to come up into the States and to do damage. Weather patterns, when it meets certain weather patterns, it's like hitting a wall, and it just can't make any progress. Hillbilly Josh Loftus. Hello, Hillbilly Josh. Thank you for coming. How are you doing? So I will tell you, I'm very close to 1,800 subscribers. Could happen overnight, could happen tomorrow, could happen Sunday, could happen Monday. If you want to be in the drawing, and right now, Josh, I think it's pretty much only me and you and maybe somebody lurking because I'm only showing one person right now. Go back to my last 5 videos. Not my shorts, not the live streams, not community wall posts. Go back to my last 5 videos. Leave me a like and a supportive comment if you have not done so. And when I hit 1,800, I'm going to put the list together, and whoever has met that requirement, they'll be in my drawing. And I don't anticipate having that many people in my drawing, so if you make it into the drawing, you got pretty good odds. I'm good. I'm good. I've been sick the last couple of days. I guess I caught something from the kids or one of my paraprofessionals. They've been sick. I've been taking chlorocetin, which is over the counter for people with blood pressure. So I've been taking this maximum strength multi-symptom headache, fever, runny nose, body aches and pains, cough, sneezing, sore throat. 24 tablets. You take 2 at a pop. So I've been taking that. Well, there are people very happy about the election. There are people crying like you would not believe about the election. They think the Antichrist just got elected. And, I did not like Barack Obama. I damn sure didn't like Hillary Clinton. And I did not like Joe Biden. But I did not feel like they were the Antichrist. And I didn't have the desire to go out and do something to them. You got these people who are crazy out there. I mean, you've had 2 confirmed assassination attempts on the former president. JP Heathen, my friend, and Melinda Elliott. Hello to both of you. That is true. Well, one thing about Biden is he's in his dotage. I mean, he was never a genius. He's basically a party hack. But he's really in his dotage now. I mean, some of the stuff they can't keep from that stuff coming through, like falling down the steps in his plane, losing his train of thought, where the lights are on and nobody's home. I mean, it's a sad thing, when somebody's in that kind of situation. Just, the man's past 80 years old. And, there are a lot of people who are 80 years old that are very sharp. They're sharp. There are people who are 90 years old that are sharp as a tack. But, then there's a lot of people that get into their 70s and mid 70s and, and they start having, their mind starts going. And you can tell because they're not the same person they used to be. It's a sad thing. And then the idea that you have somebody who's not there, but who technically could start World War III with the push of a button, that's scary too. I'm sure they probably wouldn't let him do it. I'm sure there are people there that would prevent him from doing something stupid unless it was like they attacked us and we have to hit back. I'm drinking tea. Good tea. Sweet tea. Left over for supper. So, heard from Uncle Al. He encourages me. We text each other, and he occasionally will send me information stuff. Apparently, there's some people raising hell about what happened. There have been some fires set, I think. He's monitoring all that. And, my thoughts are that it was not a close election. And it very obviously was not. And very obviously he won the popular vote. So they can't say, oh, well, it was the Electoral College that did it. I mean, the popular vote went to. They can't pull that crap. So most places, they really can't. Um, they really don't have an excuse to riot. But, you've got places like California, Illinois, the big cities, um, New York. New York is close. New York was close. He got a lot more votes than New York would have thought. Um, Massachusetts. There are some bastions of, those deep blue where where their strongholds, the big cities. And then you look at the rest of the country, and it's red as can be. But a lot of the big cities, that's where that's where all the socialists are. Yes, peak tea is really good. That's good tea. That's really good tea. Three in the house. Well, I don't know. I need to get back into the swing of things and start supporting my channel the way I used to, because I'm way down on the views. Um, and there are a lot bigger channels than mine here. I know Melinda's got probably 5,000. She's probably got 5,000. Her channel's probably 4 times the size of mine, 3, 4 times the size of mine, and she has a lot more subs. And she, and she supports her channel, and she does a lot more with her channel than I do with mine right now. And she deserves every view that she gets. But I'm not. I don't have the energy to do what I was previously doing, so I'm way down. I mean, I was looking at some of the, you get recommended and such, and I'll go on my backup channel, and it'll shoot me recommendeds from my main channel, and it'll say a live stream with 350 views. Live stream at 300 views. I mean, I was getting a lot more views. Now, true, a lot of those people are coming in for 10 seconds. Oh, I don't, it's a fat bald man. I don't want to watch this. You know, a lot of them wouldn't stay long. And it's just flipping through. They're flipping through. But I was getting a lot more support, especially when I was active. So I had people purposely seeking me out that aren't doing so now, And I need to get back into that I need to get back into that where that will happen. But the other thing I will tell you, and the way I see it, is when I was working my butt off, and this was before I was monetized, and I was probably getting 3 or 4 times the amount of views and the support that I'm getting right now. Maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. But if I was working my butt off the way I was doing it before, the amount of money I would be generating would not be that much more than what I'm generating now. And what I'm generating now is truly a joke, It's truly a joke. So, you put the effort in, and you try to learn, and you try to you work at trying to pick up more support. The old saying goes that people will support you if you support them, but then you have to also support them. You have to have the time to support them. And if I wanted 100 channels to be supporting me, and at one point I had over 100 channels that were supporting me actively, where I could count on them leaving me a like and leaving me a comment when I drop. And this was before I was live streaming, and I could drop a video, and and the first day it'd have over 100 views. Second day it'd have over 200 views. The third day it'd have over 300 views. And by the end of the week, it had between 400 and 500 views. And then, when it got to the point where you had a certain amount, then I'd kick in another one. And then I was struggling to try to respond to all the comments. People were leaving me comments, and I was having a hard time struggling trying to respond. Especially like people would leave you a sincere comment. And for those of you who have channels where you create content, you put content out, people leave you. They want to. People will follow you. It's like they're befriending you, and they're giving you a sincere. This is me, and they're giving you a sincere. Contact. They want to be in touch with you. They want to communicate with you. They share their thoughts with you, and they're sincere. And then you have to respect that, and you have to respond accordingly. And to respond accordingly, it takes time. I've got people who will leave me half a page. God bless them. And I try when I have time, but I'm constantly putting out little shorts and stuff and live streams and such, and I get lots of comments, and I don't respond to them consistently to them. I mean, I might have a person leave me 3 or 4 comments in one video. And they're all good comments, and they're all worthy comments, and they're all, there's stuff that, you really should take note of and respond to. And I don't have time to, and I feel bad about it. I feel bad about it. Like, as I'm here talking, I'm not paying attention to who's coming in and what they're saying. And I'm behind, so now I got to go backtrack and look at it, see who said what. Let's see. Little Lone Prepper. Hello, Little Lone Prepper. Die Bullfrog 79, Uncle Al. The Black Widow. I understand. I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. I'm a bit distracted too, listening to myself. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So, Uncle Al, and I mentioned him earlier before he probably came in. Uncle Al and I communicate. We text each other. Sometimes it's an email. And will contact him sometimes to ask him questions, to get his take on something other, or to, just to communicate. Or sometimes I offer him a piece of information I've heard. He offers me a lot of stuff that he hears. He's a lot more up on the news and what's going on than I am. And he will give me topics, like he was saying, topics for today: lard. Lots of uses for lard. If you know what lard is, they use it in cooking. They can use it in heating. It burns. You can use it as an oil. Lard is usually looks white. It's like Crisco, or manteca, or whatever you want to call it, lard. And you put it in a pan, or put it in a pot or whatever, and when it gets hot, it melts. It's liquid. It becomes liquid. You can use it for you want to have a lantern, torch, or whatever. You can have it in a pot and have a wick, and you can burn it. Take care, Josh. Thank you for coming. And lard is usually thought about as being very, not healthy for you. You don't want to cook with lard. They said don't cook with lard. It's not healthy, but it's old school. It's old school. And lard's been around forever. And then he started talking about another topic that I could talk about, that you can talk about if you'd like to offer an opinion, masks, gas masks and such, tear gas mask, NBA, nuclear, bacteriological, and, NBC, chemical. Nuclear, bacteriological, and chemical protection. And, the need for it. We had a hazard, or like a hazmat drill today. Didn't do a damn thing other than they came on and they announced that the drill has started, and after a couple of minutes they said, well, the drill has been completed. And the idea being is that in a real life hazmat situation, you want to turn off any sort of central heat, central air that you have flowing. You want to make sure all your windows are sealed. You want to use duct tape or something to seal your doors. If you have to seal some windows, to seal your windows, to prevent gases or fumes or whatever from getting in. Now you do that, and then you're limited on your oxygen supply inside. If you cut yourself off, the amount of oxygen is what's in the area that you're in. The smaller the area, the less oxygen. The more people that are in there, the faster it'll go. And you get in a situation where you can be trapped. Hello, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's vlog. Welcome. Jocelyn's vlog number 7. Good Lord, woman. You got a lot of vlogs. Jocelyn is one of my friends from Taiwan, the Philippines, on the other side of the world. It's already daytime where she's at over there. 13 hours difference. They're 13 hours ahead. So right now it's 7:22. It's probably 8:22 in the morning over there. 7:22 in the evening here. Yes. Beautiful lady with a beautiful channel. Puts out lots of videos. Lots of live streams. If you haven't joined her, join her main channel. Jocelyn's Vlog of Taiwan. Thank you for your support. But, you know, there have been some places and there have been some incidents where accidents have happened, like, you know, railroad trains that are hauling hazmat. You get a chemical spill or something happens and really bad. They had one, I think, that happened in, where was that train derailment at where they had the problem? Was that in Ohio? Was it in Ohio? Anyway, back a year or so back, the government really did not respond well to that. It was considered a red area, and I don't think there were too many of those red-pilled people in the area that they wanted to go all out for them. I've seen news where you have an 18-wheeler that is hauling hazmat, hazardous materials, and something happens, and there is a spill or there is a leak or there's something, and they have to try to have a containment area, and then any of the people who are specialists who are brought in to deal with it, you see them all with, it looks like they're in a spacesuit. They have these big suits on from head to toe, and they have oxygen, and and it's limited. There, it protects them head to toe. They're covered to protect themselves, because there's stuff that could destroy your lungs. And I don't know to the extent that an individual would want to acquire that amount of gear, but I will tell you that it's good to have some goggles that you can put on. They'll stretch on. It can seal your eyes. That goes over and protect your eyes. Basically, seal it from anything getting in, dust or whatever. Having a good working quality N95 or an N100 mask, or having a respirator that actually works properly, that you know how to use, that you have the filtration for it, you have that you can use it if you need it. You get in a situation where you don't want to get anything on your skin, so you'd have to have a setup where you can basically proper pants, long pants, proper long sleeve shirt, gloves, something wrapped around your head to protect you. You don't want to get anything on your skin, type thing. And then the routine that you have to go through, it's like a rubber suit. The routine that you have to go through to get out of it, and then like decontamination. What would you have to do for decontamination if you were considered to be contaminated? The rigmarole that you have to go through. And there are videos and stuff like that, and you can look into acquiring stuff and buying stuff. It's pretty expensive. But what I would tell people, especially like if you're outdoors or whatever, I would want a good set of goggles. They're not that expensive. That something with the strap that you can put on that'll be tight up against you, so nothing gets in, to protect your eyes. And I want to have some, good filtration, something that you can breathe through, that you can filter, that will filter out dust, particles, contaminants, possible germs. Something other that will seal you in to where stuff that's like 3 microns, the small stuff, the stuff that you have to worry about. protects against that. OSHA equipment. Utah Mike, welcome Utah Mike. How are you doing? Well, God bless your husband. That's horrible. I had an uncle who had that. He was sort of up in age when he had his. He was in there with a bunch of kids. A lot of these athletes, football players and such, have these situations where they have to have major work done on them. Hello, Mike. How are you doing? Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. So I will tell you, worry not, you're just on time. Palestine, Ohio. Thank you, Little Long Prepper. Thank you, Mike. 8 likes, 7 in the house. I'm drinking tea left over from supper. Tea with shaved ice. Oh, God. Nothing better. I'm eating the ice as I'm consuming the tea. Nothing better. Good stuff. Yeah. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. I don't know what to tell you. I think good things are starting to happen. You know, I think there's going to be some good things happening. There's still bad things happening. And my take is be prepared for unexpected things to happen to you. Have you know, if you're in a situation where you may have to travel, if something happens and you have to travel, I would want to have 3 or 4 5-gallon gas containers. Those big red plastic gas containers. I'd want to have like 3 or 4 of them where I could fill up my tank. And then if you acquire something like that and you keep something like that, you want to periodically use it. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to keep it like that and this will be good for 10, 15 years. You can put stabilizer in it, but it's not meant to sit for years. So the idea being that you want to periodically cycle it through and replace it. Be aware of, when did I fill these cans up? And you know, and then the other thing is, like, you use gasoline to mow your yard, or your riding mower, or you know, gas tools or whatever. You need gasoline for that. Cycle through it, cycle through it. I do the same thing. Cycle through it, cycle through it. And check, you know, you've got propane tanks, check them. Periodically go and refill them. You're using them, cycle them, refill them. Keep a log of when you're getting the stuff. You don't want it sitting too long. OSHA certified. Well, thank God, Uncle Al, you're certified. I have certifications for certain things. You know, I try to keep my lifesaver first aid up. I keep CPI certification in case I have to get a hold of a kid, restraints, techniques to get a hold on somebody without hurting them, that kind of stuff. It's required for special ed when you have to possibly physically, deal with the kid that's acting out. Six watching and 9 likes. Thank you, Uncle Al. Hey, that's good. That's good, Utah Mike. Last night I was talking about, Black Friday's coming up. And you should be able to get some deals on Black Friday. So, if you have items that are on your wish list or on your, you feel like you need to get, shop them. Try to buy them when they're on sale. Get a deal. Several times a year, they have Black Fridays or they have Prime Days and such, different things. Usually around holidays. That's when you can get a deal on stuff. And I would encourage you, as I do myself, shop. Save money. I tell my teacher assistants, I tell my kid, set aside a little money every paycheck. You need to build up a couple of months reserve. Something happens and you don't get paid for a couple of months. Can you exist? Do you have the reserve money in case, for whatever reason, money doesn't come in? You want to build that up. It's like having savings. And you want to have a couple of rolls of quarters for vending machines. You want to have $25 or $30 in ones for vending machines and for small purchases. What happens, and you want to have a couple of $100 in 20s. What happens if the cards aren't working? The card readers aren't working. There will be places where they will accept cash. And if the tech is down, revert to the money. So you gotta plan for that. Try to keep a supply of your medication. If you get a doctor who will write a script for a year, that's good because you only have to have a wellness check once a year. And every 3 months, usually the way the insurance works is you can get a 3-month supply. So they'll write a script for a year, it's like a 3-month supplies of medication. When you run it out, then you got to go get another, wellness checkup. And get them to write in the script. Normally have blood work done once a year. I'll get a report, shows the levels of the various things and everything, and if there's something that was really wrong, then they tell me. I went through a rigmarole last year at Christmas. I had a colonoscopy, first one I've ever had. I had a colonoscopy. And they always find one little polyp. Everybody I've ever known, they always say they found one little polyp, so you got to come back in a couple of years. Never fails. Well, now, if you really had something wrong, it's good for them to find it. But they always find at least one little polyp. And that way they can tell you got to come back for another visit. And everybody I talk to has that thing. They think, well, they found a little polyp. They clipped it and they took it and they're going to send it off. And you know. And I used to always joke with my friends. A lot of my friends, they're all older than I am. And they've been through it multiple. They can tell you back in the day when they did it different ways. It used to be they'd put you over this. They'd put you on this sort of like semi around a cart where they put you over, and they adjust it where your butt was up, and they they you're unconscious when they do it. You're not there. You don't know what's going on. When they're done, 30, 40 minutes later, you're in recovery. Then all of a sudden you wake up, your wife's there, your husband's there, whoever. There's usually a nurse there, and they're talking and smiling, and you have no idea what happened because you don't feel anything. You know, it's like, man, they just shoved this thing, all the way through my rear end, all up to my throat, and I have no knowledge or memory of it, type situation. Those scopes, it because the it's just something about anything involving your rear end. It's just like taboo. It just everybody snickers about it. Yeah, I had an uncle who was probably in his mid 50s. Well, probably early 60s, about my age. He had to have a surgery on his knee, and he said this is back in the day. Back in the day when I was a kid, and like he went in there, and everybody in there was like 18, 20-year old, 22, 25-year old kids. Sports athletes. It was all sports injuries. His wasn't related to sports. He was enough. I don't know exactly. I don't remember the circumstances of what happened, but he was a gauger for an oil company, and but I remember, he went through it and he had the surgery and he had the scars and everything, and walking around with a cane for a period of time. Hello, Idaho Garden Girl. Please leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for like number 9. Well, they say stick with the script. Here I am reminiscing about the old days. Um, it's a good idea to research. If you're interested in something, do your research. Don't depend on somebody like me that I'm going to have your answers. You're in a bad way if you have to depend on me for your answers, or whoever. Do a little research so you sort of know what they're talking about. And then shop around. Look at reviews. What's better? What's good to have? Mike Crusher Reviews. Hello, Mike. Good to have you on board. You're getting real close to the next 100, aren't you? So, when I think about Mike, I think about rations and freeze dried foods and all that sort of good stuff. And I was looking. I'm always looking. I'm always looking at prices of rations and various cases of this and that, and buying stuff. And I mean, I'm just piling it up. It's just stacking it up. And I don't. I used to unload everything, and I'd repack it in plastic totes, and I'd have my inventory and put it, my inventory. This is that and the other thing. And I got a bunch of stuff in inventory. Most stuff's inventoried. But here lately, when I buy cases of stuff, I just basically put the cases. They're stacked. They're just stacked. I've got like 10 cases of different rations and various things stacked back there. I was looking at getting a case of halal today, and it's probably an older case. I was looking at getting a case of halal. I was looking at getting a cold weather case of cold weather, U.S. cold weathers. The cold weathers will have freeze dried food in them. The mains will be freeze dried Mountain House. And just looking at stuff to get, prices and such. The nice thing about Prime is if you got Prime, you get free delivery. And oh, trust me, I make them work. I mean, they're constantly delivering stuff around the Lynn residence. And my daughter orders stuff, and the wife orders stuff. We're all hitting it, having stuff delivered. And I'm at the point now where I'm ordering stuff, and I know prices. I'm ordering stuff that I could go to the store and buy, or go to Sam's and buy. I'm just having them delivered because I'm lazy. They leave it on the doorstep, and just have to bring it in. And might take a couple of days to get it, 2-3 days to get it, but it gets delivered to my doorstep. Yeah, Mike, the halal meals are great, but the only problem is they don't last as long. The halals and the koshers, I think the components are better. You get a lot, you get good stuff in them. You get really good components. They've got more snacks in them and such. But they don't last as long. The stuff gets stale. And I don't know if it's been sitting out in the desert for a couple of years, out in a runway or something other, in a 120 degree weather, because that will really knock out the shelf life of your whatever is in the heat. If it's in the extreme heat for any length of time, it really kills the shelf life. That's the reason why they say a 3-year inspection. The 3-year inspection is the idea is like the conditions under which a lot of this stuff is. They don't expect it to be even good 3 years from 3 years down the road, but they'll put a 3-year inspection on it. And I've seen people do reviews on halals and koshers and certain, some of this, good stuff. And if it's like a 3 or a 4 or a 5 year old case, it came out with 4 or 5 years, that a lot of times is stale. Sort of like the idea of an FRH. They're just fine a year, 6 months, 18 months out from when they were manufactured, but after a certain period of time, they don't tend to work. And you can put salt in them or whatever you want to do, and still they don't. Most of the time, if the FRH is a few years old, it doesn't work. Just that. I don't know what it is about the ones that like the Canadian ones are better, the British ones are better, and just about anybody else's, their FRHs, man, they burn. I mean, they're good compared to ours. So Joseph Moore, my friend, Buying Space. Hello, Buying Space, and hello, Joseph Moore. Thank you all for coming. And I will tell you this, I don't understand why But when I am at work and I've got internet and I've got Wi-Fi that I can access, and I try to respond to a comment, a lot of times I will get an error signal in that it will not let me make a comment. And I think it's the amount of signal I have, or the strength of the internet, or whatever I have, because I can pretty much anytime I want to here at my house, and I've got T-Mobile internet station out in my den area, and I get great signal, and I can leave comments whatever I want to. But at work, for whatever reason, and I've got a lot of metal and I got a lot of concrete around me, and my building is surrounded by buildings that wrap around me pretty much. So I don't think I'm getting much of a signal, and even when I'm using the Wi-Fi, when I'm using the district Wi-Fi, I still don't have that strong of a signal, and it will not. I get an error signal. So I might have a little bit of time at lunch, or when I'm not over run with the kids, and I can view something. I can press the red heart and it'll go. But when I try to do a comment, a lot of times I get an error. And it doesn't matter whether it's a short comment or it's a long comment, I'll get an error and it won't let me do it. So I have to either hit continue or I have to cancel it. And I usually cancel it because it's just, I try it multiple times, that's not working. So I do apologize a lot of times. I'm not responding to comment, or you just see me heart a comment. Belinda's Country Living. Hello, Belinda. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not looking at the stream of what's being said a lot. I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. 10 watching, 14 likes. Thank you. Uncle Al will tell me, stick to the script, stick to the script. And you get in a situation where you just keep mentioning stuff over and over because you'll get new people coming into your stream. And you want to make sure they get the information that you've given previously, or that, you want to mention things you talked about previously. And I don't know, I guess the way I sit makes it look like I'm just huge. If I sit up straight, it's almost straight down. It's not like whoa, But I guess if I just lean back, it looks like I'm Baby Huey. You've had problems with comments, yeah? I don't know. Uncle Al says, "Well, get a producer, get somebody to work or get a wingman or a wing lady or whatever." And I've tried to. I've tried to. The last of my tea from dinner. Good to the last drop. So, people will tell me, use StreamYard. And I could have somebody else on and they'd be up on the image, and there's stuff you can do, tricks. It looks a lot more professional. You pay for it. Um, I had people contact me. Um, I can help you grow your channel. It was a funny thing. My backup channel. I had a message. Somebody had sent me a message, email about my backup channel. Well, we can help your channel get to 1,000 subscribers and get you 4,000 watch hours and all. And I was sort of wanting to giggle. So my response to them was, well, my main channel has over 1,000 subscribers. I had over 4,000 watch hours, and I am monetized on my main channel. This is my support of my backup channel. My backup channel has like 50 subscribers, and I'm not really putting content on it. Every once in a while, I'll load up a short or I'll make a community post. As a matter of fact, recently I got access to community posts on my backup channel, and I've done one community post. Basically, welcoming them and telling them that I live stream on my main channel at 7 p.m. most evenings. Coffee talk. And so if you were to go onto my backup channel and look at it, there's a few shorts that are posted on it. There's a few videos that are posted on it. And it's got one community wall post. It's got a picture of me, and that's what it is. I go live up to 5 times a week, and I have no plans to use StreamYard. I've never used StreamYard. They have a free version, I think, you can experiment with. You're allowed like 20 hours a month with it. So you take somebody that live streams once in a while, and they use it, and it doesn't cost them anything. And I don't know if it's the version you can do everything in the world on it, but like with anything, you get something new and it takes a while to figure out how to use it. Like, I'm pretty good using iMovie for my editing. iMovie. And I can use it to put my graphics up, do my cuts and special effects and all that crap. But I don't do it. I haven't been using it recently. I'm like, when I put my videos up, I'm not doing intakes. I'm not doing outtakes. I'm not clipping various stuff together the way I used to do it. Like I'd do a premiere, and it'd be a 20-minute premiere, and it'd have a lot of segments in it, and it'd have music, and it'd have text and all sorts of stuff connected with it. And I don't have the time, and I have not been taking the time to do that. I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that the Black Widow does and has done, I mean, gorgeous stuff, but it takes time to do it. She puts forth a lot of effort into that. And she was at the point where she was on the verge with her 4,000 hours to get monetized, trying to get her last hours. And before all this crap happened with my wife, I was running people's videos on my backup channel. I'd run a playlist, and I'd have 8 or 10 channels that I'd run a 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hour, give them a full view, and getting full views in return to really up my watch time. I haven't been doing that. There's still people who give me full views, and I truly appreciate it. But once you're monetized, which I'm monetized now, I'm sharecropping, as Uncle Al would say, once you get to that point, it's about how many views do you have. It's not about, likes help you, comments help you, but it's about the numbers of views that you have. And I don't really think, and from what I've observed, you get pennies. I get pennies. I mean, every day I look at it, it's just, oh, there's another $1. You mean I made $1 today? I mean, they're not going to send me money until they owe me at least $100. I'm not there. And, the rate I'm going, wow, I made $350 this last year from YouTube. Hey, I make $350 a day in my teaching position. Effort, and I'm not knocking down from that aspect. There's a lot of reasons I could poke at YouTube, but that's not really one of them. And but I will say this: um, TikTok. TikTok has been told by the government, bipartisan legislation, you have to, I think it's like January the 9th, you have to have sold the Chinese owners of TikTok have been given the ultimatum to sell TikTok to a non-government, communist ownership, or that they would be banned and blocked in the United States. And you say, well, that can't happen. Well, I heard somewhere that TikTok was blocked in Canada. And people are freaking out. And I will tell you that TikTok is blocked in India, a nation of 1.5 billion people, 1,500 million people, 1,500,000,000 people. You can't get TikTok in India. The government's banned it. China and India hate each other. They're, just about ready to go to war. And so, will TikTok be sold? I don't think so. Might be. But there are so many people on TikTok in the United States that if TikTok does get taken down, I would think that a lot of them will be back over on Rumble, or they'll be back over on YouTube. YouTube will benefit greatly from TikTok being taken out of the marketplace. So, and it used to be people made a lot more money on YouTube when there was a lot more people, a lot more stuff going on with YouTube. Back in the day, YouTube paid a lot better. People were making a lot better pay from YouTube as opposed to today. I've heard a lot of people complain about the amount of money that they get from YouTube being way down. They've been monetized and they've got pretty good sized channels, and they've been getting money for years, and the money that you get is way down now. Well, the thing about TikTok is they're concerned because of all the information that TikTok has access to when you have a TikTok account, that the Chinese Communist Party or government or whatever, their intelligence service or whatever, could basically go in and access TikTok and get tons and tons and tons of material from people, information. TikTok sells stuff. So people go in there and they start putting their financial data in it, their bank cards and credit cards and all sorts of stuff. And there's a worry about that happening. Hello, Jimmy James. Thank you for coming. Well, I will tell you, I'm getting very close to my next subscriber giveaway. So if you want to be in the running when I do my drawing, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I've released. I don't think I'll be releasing any more before I hit 1,800 subscribers. Where I'm at right now, I don't think I'm gonna release any more. So you need to make sure that you, when I go back and I monitor it, make my list like Santa, see who's been naughty and who's been nice. You need to have left me a supportive comment and a like on each of the last 5 that I've released. And because I anticipate hitting 1,800 in the near future. And then my boxes are nice boxes. You can go back and look on previous subscriber giveaways to see sort of what I give out. I will plan on being back tomorrow at 7 p.m. I got a 3-day weekend, so I don't have to work Monday. I'll try to put a little more effort into my responses to people. Whenever I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. I say the Lord's Prayer. You don't know how many days you have. I take my medication. I contemplate. So like a constitutional. I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. Lead by example. And, old school. Good night, Joseph Moore. Thank you for coming. So, everybody, please have a blessed day. Thank you for coming. And hopefully we'll get together tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central Time for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye. Thank you. Blessings.